Your unique story, our global audience. Global One Media.
Welcome to Global One Media's exclusive one-on-one interviews with company executives sharing insights into their unique journey. I'm your host, Ashley Berry, and today Sophy Cesar joins us. She leads the Investor Relations Division of Canadian North Resources, a mining exploration and development company listed on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol CNRI and the Frankfurt Stock Exchange under the trading symbol EO0. Sophy, thank you so much for being here today. I'm excited for this discussion.
Hi, Ashley. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely, our pleasure. Sophy, maybe you could tell our viewers a little bit who are not familiar with Canadian North Resources about what you do and what is unique about the company and why it's an attractive investment opportunity.
Sure, Ashley. As you mentioned, I handle investor relations, and that encompasses a lot of things, including doing interviews such as this. So for those who don't know, Canadian North is a late-stage exploration and development company mining for base metals, so primarily nickel, copper, cobalt, and as well the PGM group, which is palladium and platinum. Our project is significantly advanced. It was previously owned by Starfield Resources, and since its inception in the 1950s, there's been over $150 million invested in Ferguson Lake. And for those who don't know, and something I very much enjoy talking about is, it has a 55-person camp, which includes 2 generators. There's all of the equipment, heavy machinery on site. We now have 3 drills. We have a satellite network and even a runway. On top of all of that, there's also been 200,000 meters of drilling done over 700 holes. And I think all of those things together are what makes it really unique. And on top of that, it's in the extremely friendly mining jurisdiction of Nunavut. And we're surrounded by other large mining conglomerates such as Agnico Eagle and Glencore.
Very interesting. And so that basically is what is behind you in that image. That is Ferguson Lake. Maybe we could, no pun intended, dive a little deeper, and maybe you can tell us more about that project. And you talked a little bit about the mineral resources you're looking to find. Maybe we could learn a little bit more about that and kind of the prospects of those commodities in the near future.
Sure. So the Ferguson Lake, as I mentioned, we're mining for these base metals, all of which are, increasingly in high demand in the clean energy industry. So the project itself, we issued a 43-101 in 2022, and that was an updated 43-101 based on the previous drilling that had been done. And that report that we put out, what was vastly different from the previous ones is that we showed the potential of a high-grade open pit indicated mineral resource of 22.4 million tons with an NSR of $255 per ton. And in that report, there was also an inferred estimate of 47.2 million tons. And I think that really showed the great upside potential that we have from taking these inferred to indicated with further drilling. And further drilling we did do. So last season in 2022, we completed 18,144 meters of drilling. Yeah, and we also, when we started off, we had just under 100 square kilometers of land package. And now we've expanded that to over 256 square kilometers. And what we did there was we added the gold copper mineralization of Mac Lake and Quartzite, the Quartzite Lake Project.
Wow, incredibly impressive. I would say those are some pretty significant milestones for 2022. Maybe you could also, walk us a bit through the company's solid financial position and what projections you have for the near future.
Well, one of the other things that, we were really excited to do, especially in the market and the climate it was in, as we know, towards the last half of 2022, is that we raised over 9.8 million in charity and regular flow through. And we did that above market price. So the charity at 342 and the regular flow through at 270. And what this allowed us to do is it allowed us to obviously expand our shareholder base. And we were very excited to bring in 4 well-respected funds as investors. So that left us, in a strong cash position that we're currently over $16 million. Our market cap is over $260 million. Our share price, considering the volatility in the market, has maintained. I mean, it obviously has to follow the market at some point, but we've managed to maintain a very, very strong share price considering what's going on in the resource sector.
Wow, incredible. Those are some really impressive numbers. Maybe we could talk a little bit about, what investors, obviously they're looking forward to this. What can they look forward to about your company in 2023 and maybe your priorities and how you'll focus on increasing the company's valuation? If you could dive a little deeper into that.
Sure. We have so much planned for 2023. So we recently announced, obviously, the great results that we had at the Mac Island, where we had high grade gold up to 52.3 grams per ton. We also, found significant copper and gold mineralization samples in the outcrops at the Quartzite Lake Project. So that's something very exciting that we're going to be, diving a little bit deeper into. But at Ferguson Lake itself, we have diamond drilling planned on the ice at Ferguson Lake, which you can see here behind me, for April. We're targeting 20,000 meters with 3 to 4 drills this year. And we're going to test for both shallow, so 200 meters, to deep, over 1,000-meter targets. We have borehole electromagnetic surveys planned on selected holes, and we're going to utilize that to support the deep hole exploration. We're also going to be using high-resolution drone magnetic surveys over selected areas of the properties to identify new targets, because we still have a large portion of our 15-kilometer mineralization zone that we did not drill in yet. And, we have a lot of investor relations and public market activity planned to increase investor relations or investor awareness for 2023, because I think that, we did list in April of 2022, but, as the market was just opening up and it wasn't in, it was not the best market towards the latter half of the year, that we really didn't get out there and didn't get the story heard. So I think that that's going to be a priority moving forward this year.
Sure.
And then
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say all of this is with the ultimate goal to update our current 43-101, because at this point we're going to have over 3 years of drilling under our belt. And then the plan is to move to a pre-feasibility in the next 12 months.
Wonderful. I was going to say, it sounds like some incredibly innovative work when you're doing the surveys with the drones and that. I mean, it has to really be fascinating to be there on the ground or to see the results of that. I'm curious as to what's most exciting as you lead investor relations for Canadian North Resources. What's most exciting for you about these projects and what's happening right now?
I think it's the potential that this has to be a world-class resource. As I mentioned, we're in an area with big players. This is it's a lot of, for example, the copper, the nickel, the PGM groups. These have all actually been put on, many countries, but Canada included, it's been put on the critical minerals list as essential to our economic stability, essential to, being a low carbon emissions country. So I think, you know, that and pair that with the fact that we're in Canada, where we're geopolitically stable and we have high environmental standards when it comes to mining. I mean, all of that put together, the potential for this project, it's really exciting.
Absolutely. And it's exciting just hearing about your story. Sophy Cesar of Canadian North Resources, what a pleasure it was speaking with you today. Thank you so much for sharing your unique journey. And we at Global One look forward to sharing more updates from you with our audience.
Thanks, Ashley. It's been a pleasure.